This teacher that is going around that I talked about on my live, apparently an old video, which I forgot about that video. I didn't even know that was him. Resurfaced of him saying like, it was a minor in the bathroom and she was like singing emo boy, I want an emo boy or something like that. I can't remember what it was. And he literally duetted the video pretending to be an emo boy. Now, that is bad. I'm not defending him because he shouldn't have done that. Even though he said he wasn't a teacher at the time. But a lot of black girls are over-sexualized and it has to stop. Because just because they were taking down his hair does not mean it's sexual. And it's really weird how people love to over-sexualize black girls all the time. Black girls are the most over-sexualized when it comes to things. That ain't cute. That's not cute at all. It's actually disgusting. Like, I get it. Everyone has their opinions, right? And for me personally, I was like, why is girls taking down his hair sexual? Why are people making that sexual? He did go live while that was going on. For me personally, I don't agree about the whole going live thing because you shouldn't go live at your job where students are, especially minors, right? What if those kids' parents didn't want their kids on a live stream? But at the same time, what happened was it sexual. Now, what he did, that bathroom video is not okay. But can we not correlate the two videos and just separate the two? Because it's not about him. It's about the over-sexualization of black girls. That this raised more of an issue towards. This brought up that conversation and that topic. Life could be So I want to talk about Paris Hilton. I love Paris Hilton. Like, Paris, I love you. But you having a friendship with SZA negates you protecting children. I'm sorry. Like, okay, I don't know if SZA knows this. I mean, not SZA. If Paris Hilton knows this, but Sia literally has a weird relationship with Mackenzie Ziegler, I think it was. What, Mackenzie or Maddie Ziegler from Dance Moms? Because she was in the song Chandelier. She had her stay over at her house. If you look it up, there's a video on SZA's weird relationship with Mackenzie. And I'm like, oh no, Paris, like, you're all for like abuse and helping children. I know it's in those like ranches and stuff, but it negates that when you're hanging out with SZA. And I know people have a right to choose who they are friends with, and you know, I'm not trying to tell people who to be friends with, but it's literally not good to be hanging out with someone who's had a weird relationship with Maddie or Mackenzie, you know, from like Dance Moms. And literally being friends with a minor. It's just like weird to me. Like, after I saw that about SZA, I mean not SZA, Sia. I don't know why I keep wanting to say SZA. After I saw that about Sia, I was like, ugh. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I was like, ew. You know. Well, I mean, it's not that I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to listen to her anymore is what I meant to say. Sorry, I got distracted. There's so much stuff. The TV's on and everything, and I'm getting distracted. But yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not listening to her music anymore. That's weird.
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Your mom was before you start singing.
I used to think that I wasn't fine.
Hope you find peace.
Here, this is it.
I'm legit laughing at the comment section because they were like biblically accurate Elvis, and someone said pelvis. Let me tell you something. That guy is nasty, right? Disgusting. You know, to be like, oh, sit on my face and I'll get your, like, let me tell you something though. The real Elvis, yeah, not far from the real Elvis. To be honest with you, that is probably one of the most accurate Elvis impersonators I've ever seen. Besides the one guy who legit looks like Elvis and sings like Elvis on TikTok. Do your thing, do you, but This guy has this guy has a temper too. Someone said they saw him once. They took a photo and he went off. Like I'm not frequented in Vegas, but this is you guys. I'm making a tortilla pizza with like regular sausage because I didn't have toppings, right? And you know, cheddar cheese. Let's see how good this comes out because I had marinara sauce from Domino's. And so I was like, you know what? Let me use this marinara sauce. Let me make a little pizza for like. I sprinkle a little oregano on it. We'll see how good this turns out. I added a little oregano. I know it is cheddar cheese, but it's good. And I added regular sausage, the marinara sauce, and I sprinkled a little oregano. Delicious. I don't know what to say. It's good. This might be like a low carb thing. I might find stuff that is low carb to make like a low carb pizza, because let me tell you something. I wouldn't mind eating low carb pizza like for lunch because this is delicious. So I saw Nathan Davis's post on Instagram talking about how this large creator is ripping him off. He found this little niche of doing covers of songs with hypersexualized lyrics. Let me tell you something, sir. Let me tell you something. Remember any creators that have done that before him, which I know I've seen? I'll like say them, but I forgot. But to come on this app and act like you've done it, you're the originator of it, is crazy. You're popularized of it, but black people have literally been doing that way before you have. And I understand, but we get restricted. Black girls are over hypersexualized, so that's why it doesn't work. That's why they can't do what they want, because they get more scrutiny than your just restrictions. They lose their accounts. They lose the money that they're making to make a living. You literally write songs for a predator and literally was able to have a business called Paint. It's crazy to me how you, like, I understand you calling her out, but black people been doing it before you. I had to say something. Probably gonna get mad and go run and say she's talking about you. But literally, it's so annoying that I've seen black people do things before and don't get their credit. Like the transition trends on TikTok. Transitions came from Musically. Every transition that someone's like, look, I created, no, you didn't. Those transitions were created on Musically. Do your research. I literally follow and I'm mutuals with people that created the very transitions you claimed you created and called it something else. It's not cute. Like, now all of a sudden transitions are back in trend and everyone's like, I invented this new trend. No, you didn't invent a transition. Go back to the Musically days and do your research before you start saying you invented something. It's so annoying that people try to say they invent stuff but don't do the research. That's like stealing Pop-Tarts and calling it pop bread or something. Like, it's just so annoying when people act like they invented stuff. Like, literally, me and this one person are mutuals, and he legit created some really cool transitions. And then I see other people who do the same transitions being like, I invented this. Like, TikTok literally repopularized transitions from Musically. Like, I've been doing transitions since Musically, and I don't really do much transitions anymore, but trust me, if I was to do transitions, I would probably eat most of you all up. And I wouldn't probably need CapCut Pro to edit and crop and clip and fix my transitions, because we didn't have that stuff. Like, maybe some people back on Musically might have used CapCut Pro, but we didn't have the timer thing either, and we had to just straight hold our phone and then film it. Yeah, I can eat you up without editing. Also, I want to talk about it because it's important. There was a video I saw, and this kid was asking this black guy if he painted himself black, you know, because obviously he was confused. He was like, no, I was born black. It may sound weird that the kid was saying that, but the kid was Asian and was just like asking him, anyways, was confused, whatever. I mean, anyways, the comment section was like, he said, what color are you? And the kid said white, and he goes, no, you're yellow. People failed to understand because people were like, no, that kid is white, whiter than most celebrities. Let's not do that, because Asian people are people of color. That's probably going to cause your brain to have a loading screen, because you're like, huh? Yes, Asian people are people of color too. Wow, like, some of y'all, if you don't know, I've talked about this. There was an Asian creator that literally talked about how some of the Asian beauty standards, especially in some Asian countries, are whitewashed and they push skin bleaching stuff. But literally, a lot of Asians stayed inside because they wanted to get the white skin, and whiter skin is seen as beautiful, so that's why. But a lot of Asian people, it's hard for people to process that, are people of color. They are not white. So let's not sit here and start whitewashing people, because it's hard for you to understand that people comes in different shades. Like, hello. Different skin tones, because it's crazy. Like, to literally say, that kid is whiter than most celebrities. No. All those celebrities that person named are white celebrities. So, that kid is also a person of color. Crazy you would whitewash them, but okay. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So what I want to talk about is the video that I just posted. Literally, what does that guy's weight have to do with that breaking? Literally, people being like, he shouldn't be up there. Like, he was too big for that. Well, that's a safety hazard. Because literally, he's not that big. And sometimes parents go with their kids on those types of play places because they encounter kids that are rude. And sometimes the kids don't want to be by themselves, so the parent goes. Like to say, oh, he was too big for that, that's why it broke. No. Then that's a literal health hazard, and none of those kids should be on a play place that's gonna break and snap. Like, if not him, it would have broke on a kid. Imagine if a bunch of kids were standing on that and it broke. Like, that's a serious health hazard. Like, yeah, that's not even safe. Should I do Pokemon breaks? Should I have people buy into Pokemon breaks and do them on Whatnot? Because I really want to, I'm going to buy, like, if I can, I'm going to buy a case of Pokemon cards and open them on live. Because I want to get Pokemon cards again, but should I open up Pokemon cards on Whatnot? And like, y'all, like, you know, Whatnot is an auction place and you buy into breaks, because I really like Pokemon. I want to get back into it. I think it would be interesting. Sorry, to do Pokemon breaks.
What is that? Hey, what are you doing?
Ways to where the multi